Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at the O Pen 2 by Olight. Reasonably new product that's come out. I think it would be much better called the Elegant Stick, because it's failed to do two of the things that it sets out to do quite miserably when it comes to actually being needed. I've carried this for 2 weeks now and I just keep finding different problems. I'm just sorely disappointed, and there's only one reason that I'm not sending it back, is that I actually got it a lot cheaper than what most people are paying for it, but we'll get into that. So we have a pen, supposedly. Now, the actual cartridges that come with it, this is the one that was inside the pen. So the O Pen, I dare say that's not picking up at all. There is nothing coming out of it. I used this cartridge and it was rubbish from day one. After a week it ran out. Now, a week of moderate, probably wouldn't even say it was moderate writing. I don't write that much at work. I fill out a few reports and things here and there, but it wasn't enough to really sort of make any pen run out, despite how small the cartridges are on this. So I would say that was a fault with the cartridge. But give Olight their due. They do provide you with a spare inside the very elegant packaging, which I must admit, the packaging is probably the thing that's most impressed me for this entire unit. You get a nice little spare cartridge there. Here's the throwing things around. You get the charger. I haven't been using that charger, I use a different one. I've got plenty of USB-C chargers. So let's go through changing this very, very rare cartridge that seems to be like hen's teeth to find. So we'll take that one that is clearly not working out and put this second cartridge in, which I don't want to call this one the new one and the other one the old one, because they're both new. But let's see how this one performs. So the O Pen 2. Actually, that is the best that this cartridge has written for me in the last week. So slightly proving me wrong there. It must actually like this bit of card that I'm writing on, because that is the first time it has actually performed. Don't know why I've put O Pens there, but there you go. I'm avoiding that part because I don't know if it will show up, but there is a slight bit where let's get that in focus. I don't know if you'll quite see the bit where the first cartridge tried to write, but that's actually writing. But I will feed in. I did put some other footage together using this same cartridge the other day. I'll put that footage in now. And as you can see on that footage, the pen is scratchy, it's not flowing very well, it chooses to write on some letters and not others, so I'd say that both of the ink cartridges that were provided were useless. So not very good for a pen that was, they retail it at £50, and that's just talking about the pen so far. So it fails miserably out of the box as a pen. I'm going to have to order some replacements. I have messaged Olight, but I haven't heard anything back. I messaged them almost a week ago now. I did put a message up on one of the Olight groups on on Facebook, but a couple of people responded saying that Olight are aware and they're looking into the issue, but Olight have not responded to me. They may just be ignoring people on this particular subject. They've read my message, but they might not be responding to people until they've actually got a solution at hand. But that seems a little unfair. They should probably have a bit of a written out letter or response that they're just copying and pasting and sending to everyone, in my opinion. But to be fair, that cartridge, let's see how that performs. That might just see me through a few days at work until I'm able to get some replacement cartridges sorted. The other thing I don't like about it, as you will hear, I'm going to do this up to the microphone. That is one of the most horribly grindy functions on a pen I think I've ever had. It's horrible. For something that is priced as what it is, that is ridiculous to have that kind of a action on it. It just doesn't feel very smooth. I appreciate that it's like milled in the middle where there is sort of rings all around the actual barrel, and that's what's grinding, so it may be an intent that they made it that way, but it just doesn't feel very nice. It's not the smoothest of things in the world when you've got that. So then let's talk about the torch. So the torch, the torch has failed me, because having such a sensitive little button on the top there, that when you put it in your pocket, the slightest little tiny click of that button and it turns on. So when you come to use it, it's dead. So again, it's failing miserably when you're actually needing it as a torch. Now, I've carried this for 2 weeks. I purposely didn't charge it up from this happening 2 days ago because I wanted to prove the point that it has just gone flat on me and it's not through use. I found myself, I was hoping that this would replace both my small torch, like my inspection torch that I carry with me, and my other tactical pen, but it fails to do the job of either of those. So I'm having to carry a second torch just in case this one messes up, and I'm finding myself carrying a cheap other alternative pen in case this decides not to work on me. So I might as well just not carry this because it's just a bit useless, which is why I'm dubbing it an elegant stick, because the only thing it functions well in doing is looking nice. It does look very presentable, but it's useless for what it's designed for out of the box. Obviously with the replacement cartridges that should solve the issue. Hopefully that will then allow it to at least become a pen at its most minimal function, but then that button just did not need to be so sensitive. If they'd have had something with a little bit of protection around the top, a slightly raised edge so that you had to put your finger into there a little bit more and it just protected that top, or they had more of a recessed click on and click off rather than just a micro click, which it's not got an on off switch, it is just a click. If they'd have done something like that, it would have been a lot harder to have indented it and pressed it in the pocket, and it is so delicate to do that it happens a lot. Say I've had it drain on me at least twice, could be 3 times actually, but yeah, so all in all I'm very unimpressed. Now if I'd have spent the £50 that they're asking for this pen, it would be going straight back to them and I'd be getting a full refund. But I bought it in a bundle with the S2R2 in purple, and I got the free I1R. I sold both of those because I got a gunmetal grey I1R, which I sold for a reasonable price, and I sold the purple for a reasonable price. Both the people that bought them were happy with the prices I was selling them at, and so I've ended up getting this pen for around £15 it's cost me in total, which for £15 I think it's worth that. It's certainly not worth the £50 that they're asking. If you can pick one of these up for £30 and you're going to replace the ink cartridge yourself, and then you're not going to be in a position where you're catching that switch, whether you keep this pen on a desk or if you're keeping it in a holder or something where it's not exposed and going to get clicked, then you might find this very, very good for you. But for me, as an engineer carrying it around, it's just a bit useless. I'm going to give it more of a chance. I'm going to get some replacement ink, and I'm going to see if I can be a bit more careful about that button but I can see it being a bit of a, I can see me just ending up using it as a pen, and that's it. The torch feature will be redundant for me. But just to be fair on it, because I am speaking about the pen and people will want to see how it functions and whatever else, I'm going to go and put it on charge, and then I'm going to come back and show you what the actual light is like, which when it's working is very good. I'm impressed with it. Right, so we have a little bit of charge in it. Now, I've not fully charged it up. I have charged it for about 10 seconds, and that is enough to bring it into life. Now, you're not going to appreciate fully, as this is glaring straight at the camera, but that is quite a bright little light for being on here, on a little torch, on a little pen, sorry. Now, specifications do say that on the highest it's 120 lumens, medium is 60, low mode is 20, and moon mode is 5. So the first click gets you moon mode, and then you press and hold and it will cycle through the other three. So you've got low, medium and high. And obviously that is at its full 120 lumen, which is a very good little light, which I'm going to turn the lights off here and just try that with no other light source. This is on low mode, which again, on the moonlight mode, that is very good for a little bit of light. And then as we move up through, we have a good bit of light to actually light up an area. I know this is just a small test on a table, but you can get a little bit of an idea of how dark to light that it is actually sort of putting out. It is a brilliant little torch when it's working, and it does have a really good charging procedure. So when you're actually charging it, you will get, it doesn't say on the box here I don't think, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't take long to charge it before it will give quite a good output. It certainly charges a lot faster than it discharges, so it is very good in that respect. Yeah, I've not touched that, that's just powered down because it's been running on the high mode for however long it will run on that before it steps down, which is, unless the battery's just running low again. No, it should run for 16 minutes on the high mode, but it certainly hasn't done that. But I say, I only put a small charge in it just for the sake of showing this review. But let's go back to the other table. All in all, it is a lovely looking stick, but I can't advise anyone to buy it. Certainly not for the price that they're asking for this elegant stick. It's just not worth the money. It doesn't perform as well as it should do for that money. As an independent tiny little torch, great little thing. As a pen with a better refill in it, I'm sure it'll be fine. A little bit grindy, but fine. I would say that it's a bit of a swing and a miss from Olight for this one, really, and I dare say that they're probably seeing the backlash, because I've seen a lot of people complaining about the issues I've had, not just me, with that ink refill. That seems to be a very large problem that they're having with it. A lot of people are complaining, and I think it is going to be costing them quite a bit of money to be shipping out replacement refills for everyone. So that's going to obviously be at their own cost to get that sorted for all the people that are having issues. Now, I have had people say that they haven't had issues at all, and that their ink cartridges that came with theirs are being spot on, and they've been using it quite a bit. That's brilliant. But unfortunately, we are in a time where bad responses and bad sort of reviews and things are often a little louder than the ones that work, and I'm hearing a lot of negative about it. I'm not hearing a lot of positives. So hopefully they do better next time, and the O Pen 3 is absolutely wonderful. But unless you can get this for a bargain price of around £15, maybe £20 if you want to push the boat out, or $25 as it might be, anything more than that, I just don't see it as being worth that money. So, but there you go, guys, that's my opinion on it. Opinion on it, rather not. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed the review, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.